Kayla from Kayla Crochet Love, and welcome to episode 29. If you are new to my channel, I invite you to subscribe, and if you are returning, welcome. It's always nice to see you. So it's been a couple of weeks, I think, since I've podcasted. The weeks are just kind of slipping away, it seems, since Christmas, but yeah. But anyways, real quick, I want to talk about my shirt. My mom gave it to me today, so I'm just going to push my chair up. So, it's a yarny related shirt. So, it says things I do in my spare time, and it says crochet, buy yarn, research crochet patterns, talk about yarn, rearrange yarn, and watch TV shows about crochet. And isn't that accurate? That's pretty much what I do every day. And it's unicorns. So she had ordered this for me for Christmas, but they sent it, they sent it to the wrong address. They sent it, I don't even think they sent it to Canada. I think they sent it somewhere in the States, but so she contacted the company, so they were sending her another one, and I got it today, and I love it. It's big, but I like having shirts like this to just hang out at home in, and you know what? I don't even care if it's big. I love it. So I had to share that with you guys. That's why I'm wearing it today. And I was just excited to put it on. So anyways, yeah. I have quite a few things to share with you guys, so I will just kind of jump into it. And one thing I wanted to do today too was I noticed a few people posting like their New Year's goals and stuff, which I did that last year, but I'm just going to kind of touch base on my goals for 2020 at the end of the video. We'll get to this stuff first, and I'm just talking about my yarny goals anyway. So I'll start with finished objects, and I have one completely finished object, and it is this. So this is the Nanton cowl. And this is a test I did for Nicole from Durab Creations. She needed some testers who could get it done pretty quickly. I had no other projects on the go, so I figured why not? And I loved the one she made when she showed it on her podcast. And I really wanted to make it, so I was like, yeah, heck yeah, I will test that. So it's designed for minis, but I thought I had minis, but I don't. I have a lot of scraps, so I used up some scraps. And I used some pretty wild colors, as you can see. So, I'll just talk about the colors a little bit. So I started with, so this one is, I can't remember the name already. Is Drops Nord or Nod. This is an alpaca blend, I believe. It's alpaca and wool. So I had some scrap of this from another cowl I had been making. So I used that for the top and the bottom. And then, I guess it doesn't matter which way you wear it, but this is where I started. And then I used up some of my Dragon Strings Unicorn Sneezes colorway, which I'm using for socks as well, but I knew I had more than enough to use some in here, so I did. So I used a little bit of that, and then I moved into this color. I'm not sure the colorway, but I believe it's Alegria for that yarn. I think that's the name of the company. And then I moved into this, which it doesn't really show on the camera, but it does have some stellina in it, which you can kind of see. This is Daisy Knits, and there's no colorway name. This is Dragon Strings in the colorway Twisted. And this is Essence of Autumn, and this one's really sparkly, you can really see it, in the color Bird of Paradise. And I love this cowl. The pattern's great. She hasn't released it yet. I believe she's hoping to do that this week. And I will link to her YouTube channel down below. Definitely check her out if you haven't already. I love Nicole. She's so sweet and she's very talented. So, yeah, definitely check her out. I'm sure she'll talk more about when this will be released, but I highly recommend it. So mine turned out, oh, knocking my headband off. Mine turned out a little big, but I did block it, and I think I stretched it a little too much when I blocked it. So it's supposed to fit closer around your neck. But I mean, this still works out really well. I wore it all day the other day. So, but yeah, I think I just blocked it a little too much. If I make another one, which I'm sure I will, because I love this pattern, I might go down a hook size, but I might just play around with it a little bit. But yeah, and the thing I really enjoyed about this, because I was a little bit unsure if I could get it done in time for when she needed it, I managed to get it done in like 5 days, and that's not working on it constantly. So it was my only my only project I was working on, but there was a couple days in there where I just didn't really feel like working on anything at the time, so it took me a few days. I think I started it on January 1st or 2nd, and I finished on like the 6th or something. I'm not 100% sure. But the thing I really liked about this was that you're not keeping the same stitch the whole time. So you go for a certain amount of rows and whatnot, and it switches stitches and stuff, and so it keeps it interesting, which that's what I really like, because certain patterns I find I just get bored because it's the same stitch over and over and over again. I think that's why I don't like making blankets, because it's the same stitch all the time. Not all the time, but like granny squares and stuff like that, or big granny blankets I have a hard time with. So yeah, I love this. Go check out Nicole, and check out the videos where she talks about, so the past I think 2 videos she talks about hers. Hers are beautiful. So mine's a little bit crazy, but so I'm gonna take it off though, because it's a little bit warm. Alright, so that is my only finished object. Like I said, I kind of committed to that one for a few days. It's really dry down here, guys. That's just water. I got this cool little tumbler thing for Christmas, and it keeps water very cold. So, yeah, only finished object. And I have a half-finished object, which I was committed to finish by the time I recorded, but I just kind of ran out of steam on them because I needed to put brain power into doing this, and I haven't had any the past few days. So I managed to finish one, and that is my sock, and I just have to say that my sock blocker is a little too small for my big feet. So it doesn't show up as nicely. So I finished one. So all I had to do was the toe, or the heels. I had to do the afterthought heels. So I'm happy with how they turned out. So I did the main part in Dragon Strings Twisted, and then the toe and the heel in Dragon Strings Unicorn Sneezes. And I really like it. The light's kind of blowing it out, but so I managed to finish one, And I'm so close to finishing the other one. I'll show you that one now. It's one of my works in progress. So yeah, these are knitted socks. I don't know if I mentioned that. So I'm working on the heel, and you can see I'm close to getting it done. I still have quite a few rounds to do, but I'm getting there. So maybe by the next time I record I'll have it done. But I'm pleased. You can tell that I'm still new to knitting socks because the join here is a little rough, and I did pick up stitches, but I think I'm not exactly sure what I was doing. So I had to go back and sew some holes, and when I put them on they still stretch out a bit, but I don't really care. They're just for me anyway, so. Color's kind of blowing out here. But, so yeah, there's one sock done. And I just showed you my other sock, so that's my one work in progress. So the only other work in progress I've been really working on, I was looking for a project where I could just mindlessly work on it. I just been tired the past couple weeks. I don't know if it's just because of Christmas, but I've just been exhausted wanting to sit in my chair and just mindlessly crochet something. I'm actually surprised I managed to do the heel on that sock, although there was a lot of confusion. And the heel I'm working on right now, there was a screw up and it took me a good 20 minutes figuring out what in the world I did, but I managed to figure it out. So after that I decided I needed something kind of mindless but easy, and so I was watching Cozy Cottage Crochet, and Hannah was mentioning her shawl she's been working on, which she wanted to get done, and it's the Just Feel Better shawl by Kayla Ryan from Quirky Monday Crafts. So this is it. So I love it. It's like almost like a granny square effect, but I love the way it comes out. Like, it's like asymmetrical, but I don't know. I just like how it's turning out so far. I'm not making any sense. It's hard to explain for me right now. But the name spoke to me because it's called Just Feel Better. So I was thinking this will make me feel better from being tired and stuff, and like I said, just mindless. So she uses a fingering weight yarn. You can use any size yarn you want though. And it is a free pattern. And I will link to it down below. And I noticed she has a new one too. Actually, Debbie from Canadian Crocheter had mentioned it, and I think it's called Just Feel Festive or Just Be Festive or something. And it looks really cool too. But I had started this one before I even found out about that one. And I do watch Kalisha, but I've been kind of slacking on watching all my podcasts and stuff lately. So but yeah, so anyways, I guess I can show you mine that I've been working on. So my intentions were, we were going to my aunt's to do crafts and we were just bringing our own. So my intentions were to make it with this yarn, which is Loops and Threads Colors. There's 507 yards in here, but I wanted to make a big shawl that I can just wrap around me. And dropping things. I'll get it later. So I was like, okay, going to Michael's. My aunt lives in the town where Michael's, or in the city where Michael's is. They didn't have any that I could find. So I'll have to think of something else for this yarn. I did start a little shawl with it, but it was more just me playing around and it wasn't working out. So that one will have to just sit for a little longer. So anyways, I was like, well darn, I didn't bring any other projects. So I went to the clearance racks and I bought some yarn. Don't have the label. So I bought this Loops and Threads washable wool blurred lines. There's 390 yards per ball. The colorway's Garden Party. And it's 75% washable wool, 25% nylon, and it's so this would be a sport weight yarn. So it's a little bit thicker than a fingering weight, but I was like, that one was a worsted weight, I believe. So I was like, well, I'll use this one. It's really pretty. It is soft. It is a little rougher than I like, but I think if I wash it and I give it a good soak, it'll lighten up a little bit. But I love the colors. I kept going back to it. So I was like, you know what? It's on clearance. Regularly it is $9.99 in Canada. And I got it for $4.97 per ball. So I got 3 balls for $14.91, which is awesome. So I bought 3 of those. I just broke into my second ball last night for my Just Feel Better shawl. And I have, it'll definitely need to be blocked when I'm done, but I have this much so far. And I love it. So it's really interesting how it starts with big stripes and then it starts like striping smaller. But I think it's going to be really neat when it's done. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's simple, but it still keeps my brain busy enough. So I'm very much enjoying this pattern. So I highly recommend it if you want an easy shawl pattern to just make you feel better. Go check it out. And like I said, I'll link it down below. I'm also using a bigger hook size because the yarn's a little thicker and because I didn't bring the size it calls for. I think it's 3.5 millimeters she calls for. I didn't bring it because I didn't think I needed it because I thought I was going to be making it with worsted weight. So I'm using a 3.75, I think. So yep, very happy with it so far. So it's already a decent size. Could be a cowl right now. But so that is the only other work in progress I have. I haven't done any work on my Vanya cowl. Like I said, I just haven't had the mindset to work on something like that. Just life stuff, you know how it goes sometimes. So that's something nice and easy. And the Vanya cowl, when I feel like I can just sit and think about things a little better, then that's gonna be my go-to. But for now, I'm enjoying working on that. So I'll just hop right into acquisitions. I have a little page down here that I wrote stuff down on, so if you see me looking down, that's why. So first, I ordered this on Boxing Day from Amazon because I figured they might have Boxing Day deals, which they did. This wasn't on sale by a lot, but I've been wanting this for a while, so I just bit the bullet and ordered it. And it's Edward's Crochet Doll Emporium. So it's like so it says flip the mix and match patterns to make and dress your favorite people. So it's really neat how it works. I've seen the monster ones before. And then I saw this one. So I'll try and show what I can because it's paid, so I can't really show you too much. So it's laid out like this, and then you flip it. You can flip to make different heads, go with different outfits and stuff. Patterns are on that side, so yeah, you can mix and match. So that's really fun. There's a lot of them too. I didn't think there was going to be that many different things. And then there's a lot of descriptions in here, how to stuff the dolls, and it gives you inspiration, different dolls you can make. Like there's this mermaid and merman one for a bride and a groom. Just different things like that. So I thought it was fun. I haven't done anything from it yet because I haven't wanted to do too much amigurumi. But it's fun to look at, and my mom wants to take a closer look at it. So, and I think I think it's using UK terminology, so I have to remember that when I work on it. Double crochet does not mean the same thing there as it does here, so I have to remember that. But I'm very excited, and I've been having just fun reading it. It's been a good thing to look at when I don't feel like crocheting or anything. I'll just look at that. So, the same day I bought this yarn, while I was at Michael's, they had a lot of clearance things. So I'm guessing they're getting rid of some of their, like I noticed a lot of their wool-based yarns were going on clearance. So I picked up the 3 of those, and I also got, I had my eyes on these when they came out in Canada, because I've known they've been in the States for a little while, so I've been keeping my eye out, and they're originally, I have my receipt here, $7.99, but I didn't want to spend that much. So they're these. So they're the Woolies hand-dyed. I didn't want to spend $7.99 because they're 80% acrylic and 20% wool, which is still really nice. They are pretty soft. And there's only 146 yards. So I didn't want to spend that. It's a worsted weight. But then when I was there, they were on clearance for $2.97, which is amazing. My mom convinced me to buy some, but it didn't take much convincing. So I bought 2 of this color, which key lime pie. So it's really pretty. So yeah, worsted weight, 146 yards. And I told you the content. 2 of those, and I bought 2 of this color, which is lavender honey. And I have one caked up because while I was at my aunt's, she got a wool winder and a Swift for Christmas, so we wanted to play with it. So I bought the 3 balls and the 4 hanks for like $35, not even. So I thought that was a pretty awesome price for that. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna make with it, but excuse me. Since I had my eye on it for a while and I was good, I didn't buy it while it was full priced. But there was a lot more stuff there I could have spent money on. But the only other thing I bought while I was there were some stickers because my baby nephew was with us and I may have shown him the stickers and then he didn't want to let them go. So I told his mom I would buy them for him. And they are now at my house. So, whatever. They're cute too. They're little robot puffy stickers for Valentine's Day. So I'll probably make them both my nephews' Valentine's Day card or something, just for fun. So that's it for acquisitions. I may be going through this a little fast today, but I just feel like I have so much to say. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of quickly touch base on some New Year's goals for crochet, knitting, and my channel kind of thing. I wrote down some of them, but some of them might come up as I go. A lot of them you've probably heard already from other YouTubers. So last year, I was watching my video last year, and some of my goals I did meet. Some of them I didn't meet. For instance, one I was pretty good with was that I wasn't going to buy a skein until I used a skein. So I was pretty good with that. There's a few things where I probably could have done better, but I didn't go buy yarn like crazy like I did last year. Last year was bad. Well, I should say 2018 was bad. What other goal? So my YouTube goal for last year was to post a video at least once a week. And I failed. I don't know how people can do it. I'd still like to do that, but I don't know. I know you just gotta make the time, but man, I feel like I have time and I still don't get stuff like that done. So I'd like to keep that a goal again. One goal was to post tutorials, which I did technically do that because I did one a month for my squares, which I have to get working on. I have to do the borders, but I forgot to buy yarn at Michael's for that. So I'm supposed to go back this week with my mom, so I'll probably buy some then. And other goals was to finish whips, which I did pretty good. I don't think I have any old active whips sitting around. I actually frogged one the other day. I frogged most of it. Some of it's still over there because it's a pain to frog. My hiking moose cowl. I wasn't enjoying doing that, so I didn't finish it. I was like, I'm not going to enjoy it, I'm not going to do it, which was I think another one of my goals. So a few of those goals I'm rolling into 2020, which is I'd like to try and upload a video more often, but I'm not going to make that set in stone because I don't want to promise anything. But don't waste time on unloved projects. So if I'm not enjoying something, I'm not going to force myself to finish it just to finish it. Or just to have it done. Because half the time I find if I'm not enjoying it and I finish it, I set it aside and I don't even pay attention to it anymore. Even if it's finished. Again, I'd like to use up some stash, which I just bought some yarn, so kind of already broke that. But anyways, starting from now, I'd like to use as much stash yarn as I can. And again, I didn't do too bad. I could have been better with that last year, because I think that was one from last year too. But all the yarn's so pretty. Again, finish whips, which I don't have too many. I have my Bonjour High cowl, I have my socks, I have my shawl, I have my Vanya cowl, and I think that's it. I think. Active width, that's not even active width. But yeah, so those are that. I should be able to do that. But again, if I'm not going to finish it, I'll just frog it and use the yarn for something I will enjoy. I'd like to start writing down designs as I work on them, because often I find I come on here and I'm showing you guys things like hats or cowls or something that I make, and I don't have a pattern to offer you guys because it's something that I just thought up on the top of my head. So it'd be nice if I could write it down and just post them to Ravelry as free downloads. Like I said, I keep it free just because I don't get pattern testers, I don't get tech editors, I just do it all myself. And but I'm more than happy to help anyone who would have questions. I have 2 patterns on my Ravelry right now, and it'd be nice to add more, so I'll just try and write them down as I work them. But I have been trying to use more patterns that I purchase from designers too, so I can share them with you guys, or if they're free patterns, at least link you to them so they can get their recognition. A big one I don't want to do, or that I want to stick to, is no commissions unless it's a small project, and even then it has to be something I want to do. I have a bad habit of saying yes to everybody when it comes to crocheting them something. I gave my coworkers each a Christmas ball that I made, and they all think I should make a whole stockpile and sell them next year, but I don't really want to do that either. I'm not one for wanting to do craft fairs and stuff, because usually I make something once, depending. Certain things I will make more than once, but sometimes I just don't want to do it again. I have fun making something the first time and then I'm okay. Or I go on like I'll make one and then I really like it, so I make a bunch and then I get tired of it. But no, I'm not going to do commissions. Was the last year? Or the year before? I don't know. There's the one time I did a lot of commissions and I just don't enjoy it. It stresses me out and I don't need that for my mental health. So, yeah. No more commissions. And then I have a couple project goals so just things that I've wanted to make but have been avoiding because I'm not sure. So I want to crochet, I put but I'd like to crochet and knit a sweater in 2020 for myself. Actually, for knitting, I'm not going to say that for knitting. For knitting, I would just want to try knitting a sweater. And I'm actually taking a sweater class. It starts this month. So I'm going to make a sweater for my baby nephew. And it's knitted. I do have a knit sweater pattern I would like to try someday for myself. But that might just be something I kind of pick away at. But I would really like to crochet myself a nice sweater, like one with like cables and stuff. Like, just kind of challenge myself a little bit. Now that I know cables aren't as hard as I thought they were in crochet, I'd like to try that. Or just a simple crochet sweater. If you have any recommendations on one, mention it down below, because I need inspiration for sweaters. I've been looking and nothing's really caught my eye yet. For crochet sweaters. And my other project goal is to try a pattern I'm kind of intimidated by. So whether it's crochet or knitting. So like a knit sweater would be something kind of intimidating to me. But I'm thinking like a crochet, like a really detailed crochet shawl or something like that. Just something where I look at and I think that I'd never be able to make that. Just try. That's all I want to do is try. If I don't succeed, it's not a big deal. At least I tried. So, and I think that was something I had heard from Hannah at Cozy Cottage Crochet. She's hosting a cowl or something. But it just gave me the idea that maybe I should try something more challenging. So this 2019 I tackled cables, so we'll see what 2020 brings for tackling something I think might be challenging. So yeah, I think that's all my goals. I'm sure I'll come up with more for crocheting, knitting, fiber related. I also, obviously, I have some health goals with my diabetes and stuff. Try to get that under better control, which has been pretty good lately. And just other eat healthy stuff like that I gotta focus on. But yeah, I think that's it. Hopefully I covered everything. I feel like I've just been talking so fast and rambling. So, I will let you guys go, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.